Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and it is going down right now in Server 2. We are witnessing, man, the first fight right now. I want to say this is the first big fight between both sides, right? We got TA, I think mostly here, and then we got OWO. Can't tell if I can see anyone else right now. I'm actually shocked that this isn't a little crisper too as well. Maybe it'll open up. I mean, it's not, I guess not as bad as before, but I know for some of the smaller fights, right, we were actually seeing pretty smooth kind of artifact skill placement. Really weren't getting a lot of lag with the settings that I had been running so far. So maybe it's just because there's just a lot more things that are going on the screen. It seems like it's doing an okay job of attempting to keep up, and at least being able to see some of the skill droppage hasn't been that bad. I like here that we're getting a little bit more of a spread right here on the TA side. It's kind of like pocket groups. Part of me actually feels that that's kind of what maybe a future meta could turn into, where you end up having just kind of groups of 10 that are operating, so you're kind of maximizing your tier of arbor artifact, right, in those cases, right, just because you can only do 10, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to kind of drop it, because then it's kind of a random 10 if you have more than 10 legions in kind of a bubble, so you kind of want to be able to max out the usage for that skill. Unless, and don't get me wrong, right, it probably goes to something where if like the unit is full, then it'll just defer to the next unit that has less than max HP or that still can heal. So, but interesting, right? There we go. Shadow Games getting thrown down, right, man? Again, I know people love that. We got the Ice Slow skill that's being thrown. Another Shadow Games right there being thrown. You see hitting multiple people for the multiple purple negatives. That actually looked like it might have hit 5. Another one being thrown down here in counter. Again, hitting. You see retreating on both sides. I like this. To me, this is really smart. I like kind of what we're seeing here. Looks like Junie isn't necessarily in the fight with all the units, or maybe it's just kind of delayed micro that's happening here. But in my opinion, right, you would take these 5 units, hit this one person, 5v1, right, kind of do the poking, looking for the outlier spots, even if you have. This is why spreading out, in my opinion, for what we're going to kind of hopefully see in the meta is going to be really important, right? You kind of have to approach it like you're playing a true RTS game, right? For those of you that have never watched, professional StarCraft 2 being played, I would highly recommend watching it if you want to kind of start getting creative ideas outside of the box. And any other, even Warcraft, watching any type, Command and Conquer, Age of Empires, any of these, quality RTS games where you're kind of seeing professionals playing them, it really can help you inspire, because really a lot of what we're going to see here in the open field within Call of Dragons, with its unique approach with the ranged combat, the air combat, the ranged AoE skills, or just artifact skills that you can do, it's so awesome. I just want to point that out, man. This is next level to me in the Kingdom Builder genre, right? What Call of Dragons is doing is really pioneering the field for these types of games, and it's the best that I've seen so far, right? Don't get me wrong. If they can fix, I'm sure however much they can do, right? If they came out with a PC client for this game, oh my gosh, I could just see even further next level to that next level being taken. But I will always enjoy watching these fights no matter what. Just because I think there's so much untapped potential that we still have. With that in mind, all right, so just so I can get this one out the way, as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell. And, of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. So this is interesting, right? You have some TA people that are kind of slowly, but hopefully we're going to start getting more consistent push-outs right from them. Looks like GRZ and OWO kind of getting into this murder ball situation. This is where you're really taking advantage. Like, think about if you had TA spreading out kind of along here, and they're just hitting them with like multiple shadow games or hitting them with other AoE skills, right? You're just doing more overall poke skill damage to them than they would do to you, because you're more spread out, right? They're more condensed. So these are opportunities, right, that you want to take. This is why, coordination, being on voice, in my opinion, is really going to be absolutely instrumental. You're going to need to do the best job that you can if you want to enjoy the PvP side of it, to have as many people in your alliance on Discord or on some other type of social platform to where you guys can all get on voice, and you can have a level of coordination and organization amongst your team. Now, maybe you might get into a point where you have so many people online you need to break out into a couple different voice chats. Maybe you have a couple different teams. Maybe you have like an all cav team and all infantry, or maybe you have like a blitzkrieg team who's just all air and their job is just to go around and poke, so they're in their own voice chat but they have their directions. I mean, the level of just strategy that is just swelling up inside of me is freaking phenomenal right now. So as you can tell, super passionate. Oh wow. So this is interesting. TA looks like they have OWO, GRZ, a little bit on the ropes here. Remember, and bear in mind, they are fighting from more of an advantageous position because they are able to replenish more. In these situations, right, I want to point this out. It is really important.
I need you.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about your video.
She doesn't care about my video. That's okay. I'm at least giving you guys a few minutes here of greatness. So looks like I'm going to have to end it shortly. But what I do want to say, and I'll be bringing you guys more content as well, is that, you know, it's important to recognize, like, when you're doing your fights, especially if you're fighting far away, right? It's knowing when you need to pull back, doing the poking, pull back to throw out your heals, right? Let those run their course, then keep moving, right? So you need to kind of look for those 8-second pockets that you can find if you throw out those tier of arbors, and then you're pulling back more, right? So you kind of have to think about how can you sustain when you're having to march far instead of just marching all the way, marching really far, right? Doing the fight, and then taking more losses than you probably should have or needed to, and then you have to kind of do more of a full retreat, or you have to retreat farther, right? Kind of losing ground in that sense. There are really good tactical ways that you can approach sustaining when you're having to march a far ways away, where you don't have to go as far back, and then you can re-engage in a fight sooner rather than later. So just some things to keep in mind, but man, this is pretty awesome. I mean, again, right, so you know, with this, it's so cool just to see everyone moving, right? Really barely any lag. So this is pretty cool that we're seeing right now. Again, kind of, you can tell this is kind of a choke point here at this curve. And let's see if they're going to attempt to regroup. It looks like just the deads are kind of running back. So, okay, yeah, maybe they will, right? But this is the thing, is that this is an opportunity where you can see TA and the others pushing up and then being able to kind of poke and take away some of these. Really wish I could be on a little bit longer, but I was happy I was at least able to show you guys the big fight. Oh, don't lag. We were doing so good. Oh, this could be the kicker. Well, it's okay. We were going to end up ending anyways for this short one. No, let's wait. Will you respond? Probably not. This is, I think, a telltale for us to go ahead and stop here. I am going to go, which I'm shocked. This was the first time I've had any lag out since I implemented the new settings on my LD player, even when the big fights were happening. So, again, I still am happy with how it's been playing out. But, yeah, that's it. Again, I know we only brought you a short one today for a little fight. I'm going to be trying to give you guys some more updates and more PvP fights, more commentary. Again, as I'm learning the names specifically and what the actions are for more of the artifacts, so I can give you guys some more of that really good kind of color and tactical commentary that I love doing. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Can't wait to bring you some more. Let me know what you guys think about the PvP, right? How did the fight look? Did you like what you saw? Was there anything interesting that you noticed? Man, let me know anything and everything down below. I got a lot of love and hype for Call of Dragons right now, and as long as they keep going along this same track and trending in this positive direction, I got high hopes for this game. That's it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch y'all later.